Hello, good afternoon. Welcome, Chuckadelphia. This is Chuck in the command center, and today I have a very special guest, public health official, Anna Petruncio Nelson. And I've known Anna a long time, but I haven't really spoken to her in a long time. So I want to welcome Anna to Chuckadelphia. Greetings, Anna. How are you doing today?
Hi, Chuck. I'm well. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. Very good. It's not too bad for a Friday in spring in New Jersey, right?
Yay, Friday.
Yeah, definitely. So, first, I wanted you to just maybe describe some of your responsibilities as a public health official for the people watching.
Okay. Well, I'm not very official yet. I'm just beginning the public health process. But I work in data management right now. I was in the healing arts for probably about 15 years and worked in healthcare throughout that process, and decided to go back to get my master's degree in public health. So I'm currently working on my capstone project for that, and working on doing a literature review of different literature that is available for primary health care and
Okay.
primary healthcare process. So that's where I'm at in my educational process. I'm almost complete. I should be presenting in June. And
Okay.
then for work, I work within population health management with a healthcare system, a local community hospital. And I work with the data management process for managing the reports for populations.
Okay. Very good. Do you enjoy your work?
I love it. I went
Yeah.
from high touch, low tech to high tech, low touch.
Mhm.
So it's, I was working with people. I did massage, and I loved doing that, but it was hard on the body. And honestly, the stability for income was either like feast or famine. So I wanted something a little bit more stable, a little bit easier on the body. And, I was always fascinated with the trends and how they inform healthcare decisions. So that's when I started to do that. I started out with a year of service with AmeriCorps, and I was a community health worker for a year with the health system. And then when my year of service was up, I was hired full-time as a community health worker, and then transitioned into analytics.
Okay. Very cool. Very cool. Now, during these days, during the lockdown or the quarantine, are you working from home, or are you still going to a different location, to your workplace?
Luckily, I get to work from home, so that's part of the good part about working in data. So as long as I have an internet connection, then I can log in from home. So March 17th, we got word for our department to start working from home.
Okay.
So it's been a month today, I think. Yeah.
Okay. So much like everybody else, your personal and professional life, both personal and professional lives have changed. So what's something that you miss doing these days that you used to do all the time, but now you just can't do?
Well, we've had a pretty simple, we try to live a simple life here. Me and my husband, and we have the dog now, and, we just kind of lay low. But we really enjoyed, we had tickets for the opera for next weekend.
Uh,
So the opera was postponed until 2022, this particular
oh,
show. So,
okay.
we miss going to shows, and, we'd like to go out to eat. So
Mhm.
we're big into nice different gastropubs and
Yeah.
good food
Mhm.
and good drink. So I miss being able to go out and enjoy that aspect.
Yeah, and you mentioned your dog. You said earlier that you recently adopted a new dog. How long ago did you get your dog, and what's your dog's name?
My dog's name is Luna, and we rescued her. We started 2 weeks ago, and we picked her up 2 Sundays ago. So that was
Mhm.
April 5th. And so
Okay.
we've had her for 12 days now. And they thought she was 8 months, but they don't really know. They think she's a little bit older than that. So we're not sure how old she is, but it's been fun getting to know her. And she's a super sweetie, and she can be stubborn sometimes and a little
Mhm.
shy.
Mhm.
When it comes to other dogs or people, she kind of just like freezes. So we're like, oh, we're being patient with her. And it's a good
Mhm.
lesson in how to be patient with her and
Mhm.
learn her communication style of, what her training was before. We don't know. So letting us listen to the signals of, okay, what is she telling us? Does she need to go out? Does she just want to be left alone? So,
Mhm.
um,
Yeah.
yeah, it's been an interesting process.
So you're not sure if Luna has been trained before, or maybe like at least a little bit.
We think she has. She knows the word no, and
Okay.
sometimes she'll like give us her paw when we're talking to her. She just sits there and wants to give us her paw. So
Yeah.
we think she's gone through some kind of training, because there are like certain things that maybe don't necessarily come naturally to a dog in the wild.
That's funny. I would like to think that my dog Charlie knows the word no, but even if he does, he doesn't pay attention to it. He chooses to ignore it if that's
Yeah,
the case.
that's like
Yeah.
hearing.
Yeah, yeah. Is there anything that that you are thinking about teaching your dog? Any particular training techniques that you might be doing eventually?
Well, my husband's the big trainer. He jokes and says that he uses his psychology undergrad degree to train the dog. So he's the one that has the most time. So he's doing a lot of the things. We don't have anything specific. We're kind of low key, and just as long as she can go on hikes with us when we can go find some new trails.
Mhm,
That's all we're really looking forward to. And she
mhm,
seems to be potty trained, so that's good. She doesn't
mhm.
go in the house. We had one accident, but that was
Yeah,
our fault for not really kind of knowing
yeah,
what her signals were yet.
yeah. It's so hard to get mad at a dog because many times when that happens, it's because the owner didn't take them out,
Yeah.
or
Oh,
their
I
human
told
didn't.
you.
Yeah, yeah. And do you have a fenced-in yard for Luna?
We have a partial fence.
Mhm,
So we have like the one side of our house, and then the back of our house, like the back of the backyard. But then the one side isn't fenced in, and then like the two sides that go to the front of the house aren't
mhm.
fenced in. But she doesn't try to leave the yard. She loves playing in the backyard, and she'll play fetch and plays ball, and sometimes she'll just sit there and chew on her little toy. And but she doesn't try to run away. So we're really relieved that she doesn't seem to be a flight risk at all. So that's nice.
Okay. Okay, that is great. That is great.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned walking on nature trails and as being one thing that you look forward to and whatnot. So, what are some other things that you look forward to doing again? I know earlier you mentioned the opera show that's been moved to 2022, right?
Mhm. I
Good
know.
Lord. What are some other things that you're looking forward to once everything hopefully gets back to
Massage and mani pedis. I
normal?
like the self-care and the pampering. I usually don't have anything. I have the natural nail because I still do some
Mhm,
massage on the side. This year it's 20 years I've been a massage therapist. So I've been working with friends and family on the side, and I was trying to get a little home studio set up in the new house, but I've kind of put that on the back burner since it's
mhm.
not a priority right now.
Yeah, that's cool. Why did you originally choose to get into massage therapy at the beginning?
Great question. I personally had a lot of back pain since the beginning of high school, and
Hmm.
sometimes it was just really severe. I had this slight scoliosis, but after learning about my different body things, there's like some herniations with the discs and some postural deviations, and the back pain was really just, I went through a lot of back pain after high school, especially. And the thing that seemed to work the most for me was getting massage. And I remember when I was getting a massage, asking the massage therapist about it. And, I was like, oh, you do this for a living? Like,
Hmm.
you make money doing this? This seems
Yeah,
like really awesome, like something I would love to do just for fun.
yeah.
And she said, yep. And I was like, you pay your bills doing this? She said, yeah, I pay my bills. I said, oh my gosh. So at the time I was going to college for accounting, and it wasn't for me. And I was having just like a really tough time finding my way. I
Yeah.
was at Rutgers and just nothing was landing. I was taking classes here and there, and I'd always been an excellent student in grade school and high school, and I was floundering in college, and
Yeah.
it kind of seemed like something different. And once I started class, I was like, oh my gosh, every door opened 10 other doors, and it just seemed to be the thing for me. So I had a thriving career for at least 10 years, and then I had to have surgery on my wrist. And that's when I started to think about my backup plans and, trying to throw a couple more eggs in the basket to keep it, diverse with my income options. So.
Okay, that's good. It sounds like it's like something that, as you said, you could work at from home. You could have it as like a primary business or even a side business. So it sounds like you would have a lot of good options with that. That's
Yeah,
pretty
a lot
cool.
of versatility.
Yeah, congratulations. And you said that you finished your master's degree and then you're presenting in June,
Yeah,
right?
I finished all my classes, and then once I present on my capstone, it's kind of like the master's thesis.
Yeah.
For public health, we have a capstone project that accumulates all of our knowledge thus far and follows a certain set of competencies that ensure that we know how to, I guess, put together all the information that is, the science behind whatever it is that we're looking into. So they have us contribute to the science. And, I went through so many different ideas, and they're like, well, so what? So that's the big thing, is so what? You can look
Yeah.
into anything, but does that contribute to the science that already exists, or does it already tell us something we already know? So
Okay.
that's been the trickiest part of this whole process, is
Really?
honing in on something that's going to be beneficial to contribute something new to the science that already exists.
It's really hard to develop that original thought that nobody else has contributed before. So, and which school are you doing that through?
I'm at Thomas Jefferson University in Philadelphia.
Okay, very cool. Well, I want to keep my fingers crossed for you. I wish you great success. Will you be doing that presentation online, or do you
That's a
think?
good question. Usually it's in person, and so it usually has like a big paper, and then you have to create a scientific poster and present. They have us present flash talks. So the flash talk is usually about 5 minutes, and then afterwards we have a poster session in the back of the room, and people come and ask whatever questions they wanted to know that piqued their interest during the flash talk. So usually people get to come and attend this kind of thing. So depending on where we are, it could be in person, but I don't know, it might end up being online at this point. So, it's going to be a wait and see kind of situation.
It's a shot in the dark right now.
Yep.
Now, I think the most important question is, after you finish it and get your master's degree, how will you, your husband, and Luna celebrate?
I have a bottle of wine that I've been holding for a couple of years, and it's sitting in my fridge, and it's called Her Majesty, and it's got a picture of a queen, one of the playing cards. It might be Queen of Hearts, but it might be Queen of Diamonds. I can't remember, but it's got, it's from Jack Sellers, and a friend of mine sent it to me years and years ago, and I tapped into all the bottles except that one. I was saving it for a special occasion. So I'm going to open up that bottle of wine, and then depending on, what's open or what's not, if things are open, we're definitely going to go out to eat and get a good meal. And if things are not open, then maybe I'll throw like an online Zoom party with my friends and family. I don't know.
There you go. All right, awesome. That's very cool to hear. Well, again, I wish you great luck with that, great success.
Thank
And
you.
I want to thank you for joining me in Chuckadelphia for the Chuckadelphia masses and those that seek to practice listening to different voices, different ESL English voices. So Anna, I really appreciate your time. Thank you very much, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you for having me. You have a wonderful weekend too.
Thank you very much. Okay, very cool. And so this is Chuck coming to you from the Command Center in Chuckadelphia. I want to wish you, everybody at home, I want to remind you guys that just because you're not in a classroom right now does not mean that you can't continue learning. Okay, so remember, the world is your classroom. As always, Carpe diem and ciao, ciao. All right.